We shall commence this module by discussing about social goods. The concept of social goods was derived from the Greek ideas of community and polis, where people working together with synergy to achieve a common good for the society. Social goods are non-rival in nature and they do not diminish after one consumption. These types of goods are non-tradable in the market. For example, fire services are consumed but are still available for others in the public, but if someone is consuming a gallon of milk, then no one can be directly benefited from the milk. In the interest of the economic development of the country, it has become a necessity that provision of social goods should be done on time. Provision of social goods is necessary at each and every level, whether local, national and international. Thus, proper and timely provision of social goods has become a key element in the quality of life and to maintain environmental sustainability in the economy. The undersupply of goods may affect the economic development of the country and can also disturb the peace and prosperity in the country. Thus, effective mechanisms should be developed for the timely and effective delivery of social goods and services, and any schemes related with the social goods should focus their attention on poverty eradication. Optimal provision of social goods not only benefits the government, but the whole society is being benefited. Effective provision of social goods raises the living standards of the society and also helps in reducing poverty from the economy. For example, governments used to frame programs for midday meal. This program was being formulated to attract more and more children of weaker section of the society for education. Thus, from this program, children are receiving education and one-time meal also, so as to maintain economic stability and to eradicate poverty from the society. It is necessary that government should take timely and adequate steps for the optimal provision of social goods. After studying this module, you shall be able to know about the economic policies of the government, learn the concept of poverty, identify the various poverty alleviation schemes, evaluate the social goods, analyze the stabilization policy and social goods. Let us now understand the economic policies of the government. Economic policies is a various set of actions undertaken by the government to control, regulate and maintain stability in the economy. The actions taken by the government in the form of economic policy are levying of various taxes and government borrowings and spending in the economy. Various stabilization policy like monetary and fiscal policy are all part of economic policy of the government. These policies are being to maintain stability in the economy. Almost each and every type of policy of the government influences the economy, but the main policies which affects the whole society are: first, macroeconomic stabilization policy, which is also known as monetary policy, which regulates the monetary supply and keeps a check on excessive inflation and also smooth out the business cycle. The other are the policies related with economic development and economic growth. Next is the trade policy, which deals in various tariff and trades. Next is the international policy, which is related with the development of industries in rural and urban areas. And the last one are the policies which are related with the distribution of income and wealth in the society, so as to maintain a proper balance among all the sections of the society. These were the economic policies of the government which influences the whole economy, and the national budget of the government usually reflects the economic policy of the government. The government through the budget exercises three important functions to maintain stability in the economy. These functions in the budget are reflected through economic policy of the government. First, allocation function. Government has to make various kinds of provisions for public goods such as railways, defence, government administration, etc. These goods cannot be provided through private mechanism, so government used to take steps for their allocation. Government used to make policies for proper allocation of resources between private and public good. Private goods are limited and are available only for some individuals, and private goods can be brought only by those persons who can afford them financially. But public goods are available for all the sections of the society, to those also who are financially weak. Second is distribution function. Government through its tax and expenditure policy affects the distribution of personal income to various households in the economy in a manner which is just and equitable. The government used to levy taxes on the rich and give various grants and subsidies to weaker section of the society. Thus, the tax transfer policies of the government helps in reduction of inequality of income and wealth from the economy. Third is the stabilization function. The economy of a country is most affected by economic fluctuations such as conditions of boom and depression that prevails in the economy. These kinds of changes benefit some sections of the society but also causes harm to a major section of the society. In such a situation, government used to take appropriate measures which affect the level of aggregate demand in the economy, and such measures are called as stabilization measures. These measures help in controlling the situation of inflation and unemployment problem from the economy. Moving on to discuss the social goods and its effect on stabilization policy. Social goods can be defined as an action that provides some sort of benefit to the general public. Fresh water, education, healthcare are all examples of social goods. Entry of new technology and various innovations in online and media world have added a new dimension to the term social good. Social goods are now for global citizens who unite the potential of the individual and create a positive societal impact on the economy. Now the days are gone when government is relying on NGOs and multinationals for initiating any change in the society. Today is the time of Twitter and Facebook, which is serving as a fantastic tool to engage people in social good actions. Through online platforms, government can easily initiate changes in the economy and individuals can add their voice to a cause more easily than ever before and feel like that they are also the agent of change. For example, one of the major functions of the government is control traffic situation in the country. The odd even formula by Kejriwal government to control traffic and pollution in Delhi is proving to be a success because the help the government has taken from online world. These days online communication has become a good mode of distribution and spreading positive news about any social good in the economy. The formulation of stabilization policy is being affected by social goods also. Government, before launching various schemes for the weaker section of the society, used to plan out their income and expenditure and then allocate funds in the budget for social goods. The government used to declare various healthcare facilities for the society, but a proper planning is being done how much to spend on healthcare so that a complete balance is being maintained while allocating resources to healthcare facilities and other types of social schemes announced by the government in the budget. Providing free vaccination to the society is a social measure undertaken by the government. Vaccine is a public good distribution to weaker sections of the society that will be a form of pure public good. But when vaccines sold privately for commercial purpose, then it becomes a private good. For example, the Pulse Polio program of the government was a great success because they have taken the help of media and online world. So many people became aware about this program with the help of the social media. A lot of agents were appointed to distribute vaccine across various households in the country. Due to this program, government gave jobs to various people which solved the problem of unemployment as well. Thus, the main function of the government is to maintain stability in the economy and to solve the problem of unemployment, and this is being done with effective provision of social goods in the country. Thus, social goods play a prominent role in the formulation of stabilization policy by the government. Next, we will have a detailed discussion on poverty alleviation. Poverty is an unacceptable human condition that cannot be avoided despite of various policy and measures undertaken by the government. The main goal of any economic development is to eliminate poverty from the society and to attain sustainable economic growth through the formulation of appropriate policies. Poverty cannot be reduced only through economic measures, but it requires a planned set of coordinated measures. Therefore, economic growth is only factor that influences poverty and stabilization policies of the government which are necessary to high and sustainable economic growth in the country. Therefore, it is essential in the interest of the economy that stabilization of the economy should be the key component of any poverty reduction strategy. According to World Bank 2000 report on world development, defines poverty as an unacceptable human deprivation in human well-being that can compromise both psychological and social deprivation. Psychological deprivation includes non-fulfillment of basic material needs, which includes health, clothing and shelter. Thus, a person is said to be poor when he is not in a position to fulfill his basic material needs. Social deprivation includes risk, powerlessness and self-respect. Therefore, the government, in order to maintain economic stability in the country, the government used to formulate budget which includes poverty reduction strategies, and these are financed in a non-inflationary manner. Poverty reduction strategies first be decided and then an estimate should be done by the government in its budget, and then it should be financed by the government in a non-inflationary manner. Thus, poverty alleviation has been the major agenda for every government in India to attain a suitable level of economic growth and development in the country. Various poverty alleviation schemes have been framed by the Indian government in its 5-year plans to eradicate poverty from India. These schemes are as follows. First, Integrated Rural Development Program or Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana. These schemes were introduced in selected parts of the country in 1978 and 79, but were universalized from October 2, 1980. This scheme used to provide assistance to rural poor in the form of bank credit and subsidy to the rural poor for employment opportunities. Employment schemes for the rural youth have been framed by the government during various plan periods. The famous schemes launched in this program were TRISEM, that is Training of Rural Youth for Self-Development, DWCRA, that is Development of Women and Children in Rural Areas, SITRA, that is Supply of Improved Toolkit to the Rural Artisans, and GKY, that is Ganga Kalyan Yojana. These schemes were introduced to satisfy the basic needs of the rural population. The second scheme is Wage Employment Program. This program not only provides employment opportunities to the rural youth during the lean agricultural season, but also provides employment in times of flood, droughts and natural calamities. This program also helps in creating rural infrastructure, which helps in creating economic activity in the rural areas. The various schemes launched under this program were NREP, that is National Rural Landless Employment Program, and RLEGP, that is Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program. Further schemes introduced by the government during this program were A. Jawahar Rojgar Yojana or Jawahar Gram Samriddhi Yojana. The schemes of NREP and RLEGP were merged in 1989 under the scheme called Jawahar Rojgar Yojana. This scheme used to give employment opportunities to the unemployed youth in the rural areas. This scheme further merged with a new scheme named Jawahar Gram Samriddhi Yojana in 1999. The main objective was to create economic infrastructure in rural area as well as employment generation, which became the secondary objective of this scheme. B. Employment Assurance Scheme. This scheme was launched on October 2, 1993, which covered drought-prone, desert and hilly areas. This scheme was designed to provide employment in the form of manual labor in weak agriculture season. Third, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. This scheme aimed to provide elementary education to all children in the age group of 6 to 14 by 2010. This scheme was an effort to improve the performance of the school system and provide community-owned elementary education in the mission mode. Fourth, Midday Meal Scheme. This scheme was launched on 1995. This scheme was launched to boost primary education for the weaker section of the society and to improve the nutritional status of the students in the primary classes. Time to time, government have been working for poverty alleviation of poor. Various schemes launched by the Modi government for the eradication of poverty were: first, Suraksha Bima Yojana. This scheme used to target social security through ensuring accidental deaths and partial or permanent disabilities. This scheme will mainly give benefit to those people who are living in the rural areas. Under this scheme, the subscriber have to pay just Rs 12 per year and get a life insurance cover of Rs 2 lakh. Second, Krishi Sinchai Yojana. This scheme benefits the farmers, and this scheme was started because India is an agricultural country. Under this scheme, just 45% of the farm lands in India are accessible to the irrigation channels, with remaining 55% depending on traditional methods of irrigation. Third, Garib Kalyan Yojana. Under this scheme, the government would run several micro campaigns to ensure that the welfare needs of the poor population are being met and taken care of. Fourth, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. This scheme lays emphasis on financial empowerment of the girl child. Through this scheme, the parents of any girl child below 10 years can open a saving account for their daughter and operate till they attain the age of 21 years. Fifth, Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. This is a term life insurance policy that goes a long way in saving the financial futures for the policy holders. Anyone who is the age group of 18 years to 50 years can get enrolled with this scheme, provided they should have a functional saving bank account. This gives an insurance cover of Rs 2 lakh only by paying a premium of Rs 330 per year. Sixth, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. This scheme ensures a bank account for every Indian. In this mass drive, more than 15 million accounts have been opened all over the world. Seventh, Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana. Under this scheme, each MP would take out some part of their fund for the development of their constituencies. Physical and institutional infrastructure are some of the way through villages of the country which can reach up to their empowerment as a whole. Eighth, Atal Pension Yojana. This scheme ensures old age pension to those who are not covered under any other pension or social security scheme. Ninth, Awas Yojana. This is the welfare housing scheme launched by the central government to provide houses to all by the year 2022. Houses would be distributed to the needy section of the society, and a subsidy on loan would be provided by the central government, thereby making housing affordable for the economically weaker section of the society. Thus, time to time various schemes have launched by the various government for eradication of poverty, and a lot of expenditure has been incurred on these schemes. But these schemes will work effectively only when the government has sufficient funds, and this is possible only if a proper stabilization policy is being formulated by the government, because only stabilization policies arranges funds for the government through its monetary and fiscal policy in the country. Let us now summarize what we have discussed in this module. Provision of public good is necessary at each and every level, whether local, national or international. Economic policy is a various set of actions undertaken by the government to control, regulate and maintain stability in the economy. Social goods can be defined as an action that provides some sort of benefit to the general public. Fresh water, education, healthcare are all the examples of social goods. Poverty is an unacceptable human condition that cannot be avoided despite of various policy and measures undertaken by the government. The main goal of any economic development is to eliminate poverty from the society and to attain sustainable economic growth through the formulation of appropriate policies.